You know how you said that you don't like mean-spirited humor?
Yes.
That's mean-spirited, you know.
Yeah, it is what it is. Mean-spirited to me is like laughing because a man who's lost both arms isn't able to open a jar of mayonnaise, which you like. That is how that's what I'm not looking to get into.
That's not true. What's up, little bitches? This is what it is. Are you seriously too loud right now?
Sorry, I think it's just yeah.
You want me to turn myself down a little bit?
Like with your mouth.
What?
Like just be quiet.
No, I think that needs to be fine. I think we need to turn your headphones down a little bit.
Yeah, that could probably
help. Is
that
a little bit better?
Yeah, that's better.
Yo, what's up, sucker duck? It's going down. We in the house. We're doing this shit right now. Oh shit. It's the fucking we got Michelle Carter over here. I don't know what I'm doing.
Cutting an underground promo?
I don't know what I'm doing right now. I'm just doing it. This is it, man. Here we are. It's been 2 motherfucking years since we've done this shit, and I can't stop swearing. I'm just mad.
Like all the time?
I'm mad. I'm angry all the fucking time.
Yeah. State of the world.
Here we are. This is the Inkaholics podcast. We're back up in the hizzy. What's up? Doesn't that feel good? Doesn't
chanting?
Doesn't that feel good a little bit?
Yeah.
To do this, right?
Yeah, I suppose. Time will tell.
All right, so it's been so long. We've had a lot of things go on since we stopped the podcast. And we stopped the podcast for multiple reasons. I was dealing with some personal mental health issues, and I just couldn't. I couldn't go on. People like just couldn't.
Yeah, because you forgot how to edit.
I was a horse with no saddle. I was running free. That's
how horses are supposed to be. Maybe your saddlebags were too heavy.
I just needed to be let loose.
Yes, I like that.
So
I guess we're going with a horse metaphor.
Okay, I was like a guy with no medication.
Hell yeah.
And I just needed to chill out for a little while, and then Michelle was having a hard time, find time for the podcast as well. And
yeah, I bought a house.
Yeah.
And we both just work a lot, and it was the last couple of years were transitional years. Yeah. I think we got a lot done, but it became more difficult to do a podcast when sometimes it feels better to just kind of hang out with a friend, I think.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
So we did that a lot. But the past year, we've been here for an entire year. This is the new shop. This is the new studio. We opened up Valentine's Day last year.
Did. Yep.
Isn't that crazy?
It was on accident because there was a snowstorm.
In 4 days, we will be here an entire year.
How do you feel about the last year? I feel like it went by really fucking quick. But maybe you don't feel that way. It was a lot of work.
It was okay.
Setting up the shop was a lot of fun.
Yeah. No, it was. It was a lot of fun.
We did it. We did it.
We did it, Joe.
We rented an old pizza house. And if you're familiar with Warren, Rhode Island, then you'll know where it is.
I can't see your face, by the way.
Why?
You were hiding behind the mic.
Really?
Yeah, man.
How about now?
That's much better.
Wow. All right, one more time slow.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah. So we rented a pizza. We didn't rent a pizza. Well, yeah, we don't own this.
Technically, we did. We don't own it. But we rented out a space that used to be a house of pizza and smelled a lot like a house of pizza. And just took a chance, hoping that we'd be able to fill the space and make our dreams come true. Fred did a really cool mock-up of what we were hoping to make it look like. The end result is so different than when we started, but I fucking love it. And every time I leave this shop, I'm like, goodbye, baby. I'll see you next week.
I like when nobody's here and it's quiet.
Yeah. I whisper to her.
Yeah.
Sometimes I hit her on the wallpaper.
Some of the girls said that if you go downstairs in the basement, it still smells like pizza from the old place.
I don't know if my nose works right, because people are smelling things constantly, and I'm like, I don't know. I'm literally not smelling what you're saying.
That's pretty on brand for you, though.
I can't always smell things that other people
I noticed
can smell.
that.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Do I stink?
No.
Oh, okay.
I don't know.
No, even with Anthony, there'll be like a phantom smell at home, and I'm like, I'm not smelling that. He's like, it smells like pure shit, and I'm like, I don't know. It smells like chicory to me.
Chicory?
It happened the other day. What? The dog had dug in the backyard, and it smelled like dirt, but it was spicy like chicory, like the root of a chicory plant. And Anthony's like, it smells like shit. I'm like, I don't know.
Your dog ate like a bowl of potpourri and is just like, it smells wonderful out here.
It just smells. Anyway, sorry. Go on.
It smells like pure shit.
That happened yesterday. We had that conversation.
Oh my God, that's so good.
So I have an unreliable nose, I guess.
Okay.
Fred told me I wasn't funny before we started the podcast.
Because you're funny when you're not intending to be funny. I think that's when you're funny.
Yeah. Well, sometimes I act a little silly because I think you'll find the awkwardness funny. 9 out of 10 times.
It depends. Yeah, it depends on what it is.
Most of the time it works. Or I get a pity laugh.
Yeah, it's the pity. You get a lot of pity laughs.
I also I like making people feel uncomfortable sometimes. So like if it's that like awkward brand of humor and like they're laughing because they have to, I'm like, hell yeah.
You know how you said that you don't like mean-spirited humor?
Yes.
That's mean-spirited, you know.
Yeah, it is what it is. Mean-spirited to me is like laughing because a man who's lost both arms isn't able to open a jar of mayonnaise, which you like. That is how that's what I'm not looking to get into.
That's not true.
Are you sure? Feels kind of true. Like a little bit true.
So what were we talking about?
We were talking about how we took a house of pizza and we turned it into a beautiful tattoo shop staffed by around 10 artists that are really great.
Oh yeah, you should come see it. It's pretty cool.
It's dope as hell. It's so good. It checked every box that was on the list. Do not do that.
Sorry.
It's okay. We had a big long list of demands and I think it checked every box.
I came in, I was like, yo, I heard you guys got pizza shop. And they were like, you're in it. You're standing in it right now. I was like, it's pretty cool. I said, how much is it? And they were like, it's this much. I was like, it's very reasonable. I'm gonna give you I'm gonna write a number on a piece of paper and I'm gonna slide it over you. He was like, where are you gonna slide it? There's no table. We're literally standing in a room. And I was like, I will pass it over to you in a slide manner. And I slid across the floor in my shoes and I gave him the piece of paper. And he looked at the paper and he was like, I think we can make a deal, Mr. Chino. I said, damn right you can. So then so then I grabbed Michelle. I was like, what do you think? And she was like, smells like pizza.
This is not at all.
And I was like, your nose is unreliable. So I don't know if we can actually go by what you're smelling because it smells like money to me. Do you know what I'm saying? So we walked around and the guys, they actually had gutted the whole fucking place when we walked through already. I think there was like, yeah, for the most part, yeah, it was pretty gutted. I think there was like in the middle, there was like that big wall still ovens there, but they just needed to tear that down.
They had the big old ovens.
They still had the pizza ovens in here, which was kind of cool.
Yeah.
And the floor was ripped out. The ceiling was down.
Thank God.
People were fucking pissed that we didn't keep the pizza sign.
Yeah, so, I heard that too. It was a gigantic sign, and what would I have done with it? I don't know what we would have done with it. Also, not our sign. Not our sign to throw away or sell or have. Not our sign. Signs are expensive.
The pizza shop that was here since like the 70s. So for a lot of people, especially like the old crowd, like they were like, this is the best pizza I ever had. And I'm like, no, it's not, bro. It's fucking like town pizza.
I'm going to start a Warren town argument right now.
Well, they didn't treat me very nice. They were like, I can't believe you're opening this up. Like, what are you going to do with the sign? You should keep the sign. It's a precious piece of Warren history. And I'm like, okay, but the pizza was kind of mid, but okay, you know, like there's good pizza out there if you like step outside of the town for a minute or two, you know, you might try something new, you know, like this town puts hot peppers on their pizza. That might sound tasty.
I love a hot pepper on a
so,
pizza.
Or like, I don't know. People were just not nice about it. So, not that I'm butthurt. I mean, we built this beautiful shop and people love it.
Yeah, you're not butthurt. You're just talking about it a year later on a podcast.
I just thought it was funny. I'm really not mad. I'm not mad at all. I think it's funny when people were like getting aggro with me, like, you should keep the sign. Like,
yeah, that's not even like on my
somebody asked me, where did the sign go? And I was like, I don't know. They took, like, the contractors must have taken it. Like, they probably threw it out in the dumpster in the back.
I think someone ended up with it.
I don't know. I
didn't see it in the dumpster.
I doubt it.
I feel like
I don't remember.
The owners
I feel like we showed up and then it was just gone. It was gone.
It was in like the lobby for a minute and then it was gone one day when I came in. So I have no idea. Anything could have happened.
Well, not my problem.
No, I know.
If we leave, if we get like a divorce and then like a business divorce.
Yeah. I was like, we'd have to go.
We should just like leave the sign here and then people can figure out, like, whoever takes this spot over can be like, what do we do with the sign? And
I would take
the
sign.
No.
There's no way I wouldn't take the sign.
I want to leave it here.
You can leave one of the signs.
We'll have all the clients be like, where's the sign go?
Yeah.
That's an important piece of war in history. Because we kind of are, right?
I mean, maybe the only people that know about us.
Dude, we single-handedly changed the laws of this town. We came in, Michelle and I came in, we were like, we want to open up a tattoo shop. And they were like, fuck no. You cannot do that. You see all these wonderful, prospering businesses here? And I was like, nope. And and they said, well, you can't be a part of it anyway. And then I was like, well, I'm going to ask the question at town hall. And then we went over and they were like, yeah, that sounds pretty cool.
Yeah.
And they were like, but we have to change some laws because a tattoo shop wasn't allowed within 50 feet of like a school, a church, or a library.
Yeah. Because it was initially illegal altogether, and then they had to go, but there were laws in place for if there was one. It was very strange. So
they also had a law that if you were coming from offshore, that you had to present
Navy
your certificate of like
your birth certificate.
No, like I don't know, not a certificate, but or you had to present some kind of military credentials or like Navy credentials or seafaring credentials, and you also had to show permission that you had you had like leave, like you take leave when from your vessel. So
very bizarre. I know that it was also like there were laws in place that said that tattooing hands or feet were illegal, probably also related to like Navy men.
I mean, yeah, probably.
Yeah.
A lot of Navy guys like to get like a pig and a rooster on their feet.
Yeah. I also thought like during times of draft, like if there was a draft or whatever, people would get their hands tattooed so that they wouldn't be accepted into the service. But I don't know if that is...
That shit don't work anymore, man.
Yeah.
Let me tell you something. If they really needed people and they were like, they're dying out there, we got to give them all we got. You're fucking going in the army, bro. Oh, yeah. You know, like, what do you got? Tattoos? Here's a gun.
Yep.
Go for it. You know, like, just listen to this guy. He'll tell you what you need to do.
You're going to wear gloves anyway. Yeah. Probably.
No, there's no gloves.
I don't know. Maybe there's gloves. Maybe if you're going into Russia, there's gloves.
No,
if you're going into Russia, there's gloves.
Huh? No.
They would wear
No,
gloves.
there's not, dude.
Tactical gloves?
No fucking way.
Tactical gloves.
Dude, I follow the fucking Ukraine video report on Reddit.
I don't want to talk about this.
Fucking brutal. Russians have nothing.
They don't have gloves.
They don't have fucking anything. They don't give them anything. They send like fucking prisoners and 16-year-olds out there, and they just like right into the meat grinder, bro. There's no gloves. They'd be lucky if they get a fucking MRE. It's usually like a can of beans with no label. It's bad. You do not want to fight for Russia.
No, I didn't say I did.
Ukrainians have gloves. We've supplied them with a lot of good shit.
So there are some gloves out there. Saying.
You'd be lucky if your hands even get cold before a drone hits you with fucking 2 pounds of C4.
Sad.
Mm-hmm.
That's sad.
Sorry. Meow. Here we are. We're talking about the real problems in the world. Me and Michelle Carter. We're gonna solve this shit. We got some shit going down in the world. You know what I'm saying? What?
We're not gonna solve that.
I mean, we can't.
We can't
Listen,
do that.
we got to be We got to have community. You know, we got to be incommunicado. We're fucking. We're there, man. Listen,
You're slipping.
if you see racism, call that shit out. You know what I'm saying?
Well, yeah.
Be loud.
Yes.
Loud and proud. Be like, hey, man, we don't do that shit here. You know what I'm saying?
Very loud.
Right.
Yeah.
and they give you some shit and you be like, hey, man, we don't do that shit here. Like that.
Just keep getting louder, saying the same thing over and over again.
Yeah.
It works.
So
maybe.
Call that shit out. I'm just saying.
Yeah, it's weird because when we started the podcast, I think it was during the shutdown, and now I feel like we're starting it up at another weird turn of events. Or it just feels that way, like things are happening, about to happen.
Seriously, this is exactly, I was just thinking about this too, because bird flu is becoming a thing now.
Do you sound excited? You're like, I've been waiting.
Because I have ADHD and I thrive in chaos.
Yeah, that's pretty much true. You do love to tell me terrible things that have happened.
Like a smile on my face.
Yes. You're like, have you heard about this? And I'm like, I don't even know who that fucking guy is, and I don't know why he's dead. Okay, so yeah, tell me about bird flu. Let's do it, I guess.
So the birds are sick,
go.
man.
Which ones? All of them.
The chickens. A lot of birds, man. The birds. It's just bird flu, avian flu, bro.
So is there a distinction between types of birds that can catch the bird flu?
I don't know.
Like
I don't think so. I have no idea. I'm not a fucking scientist.
I'm just curious.
I'm just saying that
tropical birds.
From what I've read, is that
birds.
They've tried to cull a lot of chickens.
Yeah.
Because they're getting sick, and right now it can pass between mammals and birds.
Oh.
But not through the air. You have to have direct contact with
Saliva
them. There's only like a few people that have been sick with. I think like one person died, but like it's not like a full blown. It's not a pandemic yet, so don't freak out. Nobody freak out.
This has been ongoing for about a year, though. I think.
Yeah, but it's getting worse.
Well, yes, that's what I'm saying. Yeah. So it's it's real. What else we got?
It's real. Egg prices are going up because of it.
Yeah, we got that.
Some dude fucking like hijacked like a whole truck full of eggs.
Yeah. What did he think was going to happen if he couldn't have his eggs? Like he wasn't going to hit his macro proteins for the day?
So stupid. He's like, I need to make omelets now.
That being said, I do understand like it is a big issue for like restaurants, like people, like business owners that are trying to make things, and you know they need eggs more than like the everyday person needs.
I mean, yeah,
eggs.
I don't eat eggs that much. I just had eggs, but I mean,
you're unreliable.
I eat eggs and then I don't notice, and I'm like, I can't remember when the last time I ate eggs, and I was like 10 minutes ago.
Blindness.
I just
and you never knew.
Yeah. Man, eggs are in everything too.
Yeah, they're a great binder, but like vegan places will be fine. They use
fucking lemon meringue. Say goodbye. Say goodbye to meringues, bro.
I love lemon meringue. I love a custard.
Say goodbye to custard. Say goodbye to
General Custard.
Fucking, you like eggs in your ramen? Nope, not anymore.
Not anymore.
No.
Anyway, this guy hijacks a truck full of eggs. Are we talking about like how big is like a box truck or like a?
I'm fuzzy on the details.
Uh-oh, you were high?
No. I heard this secondhand from somebody else. This is on news spreads. This is how we do it. Yeah. News.
Oh,
rumors.
This is how news spreads. I thought you said it's on news spreads, like it's a website.
It's on the news spreads. I've seen the sheets. I've seen charts.
I think we're going back to written news eventually. I think there's going to be a turning point where online news is so unreliable. It's just going to be.
That would be fucking awesome. We should start a zine.
360.
We should start a Warren zine that says this shit is going down right now. JoJo down at the beach found a needle in the sand next to her sandcastle, and now
did that happen?
We alerted the cops. I don't know. You got to ask JoJo. But okay. JoJo was like, we need to make sure that like people aren't doing drugs down on the beach and falling asleep and drowning because the tide came in.
I mean, that's just the beach. There's water there all the time.
I'm just saying. I don't know. This isn't the zine, dude. We wrote an article about it, and that's what happened. I don't know. I'm just saying, like, it's an example. And
I just said it'll be more reliable, and you're like, let's make one less reliable, where we just make it up. But no, I think just with like AI and the level of crazy that everything's getting online, it's getting really difficult to figure out real news. And
I know.
I think that people will, in school, I think it's going to go back to like handwriting papers and reading news eventually.
Agree.
Maybe.
No, I mean, I would like to see that. Like, yeah, make HI fucking great again, right? Make HI intelligent again.
HI? What's HI stand for?
Human intelligence.
Thank you.
So, yeah.
I'm a good example.
I'm all for, I'm anti-AI, pro-HI.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. What else is happening these days?
I don't know. Like, do we address the elephant in the room? I don't really want to.
The orange one or the other one?
Yeah, I don't want to either.
Nah.
I don't really know. Look,
I'm good.
You guys get enough of that shit. You guys want to talk about politics in the grander scheme of things? Just log on the Threads or wherever.
I'm not going to make an account with Threads.
It's pretty good.
I don't want to do it.
It's pretty fun, actually.
I don't want to be on my phone all day.
It's like Wild West.
No.
If you want to have a bad day, just go into Threads.
I don't.
Like, I want to feel bad right now. Just log into Threads.
I have my
oh, this is
phone,
bad.
My phone usage is down to like 2 hours a day, which is good for me, or like an hour and 51.
Dude, what the fuck is that noise? Sorry.
It's the HVAC. It's the HVAC.
It's only when I talk. You can't hear that background feedback when I talk?
No.
What the fuck?
I don't know, man.
All right. Anyway.
Maybe you're cuckoo bananas.
I am cuckoo bananas.
Okay. Established.
No, overall, I do think, shit is weird because it's like, I just thought it was ironic that we're starting this podcast back up and like shit is not okay in the world.
Yeah. And not that anyone needs our 2 cents on it, but there's just way more to talk about and to pontificate on.
Doing a lot of pontificating.
Like, one of the things that rubbed me the wrong way was the Beatles winning Best Performance for an AI-generated live performance. I think it was the Grammys. And I was like, you gotta be fucking kidding me. Like, you're gonna give a performance award to a computer-generated video?
Who did it?
It's just the fucking Grammys. I don't know who votes.
No, but who actually made the song?
AI.
Who programmed the AI? Who prompted the AI?
I don't know. They just said an AI
So some
generated.
dude was just like, I'm going to make a Beatles song. And they were like, that's a fucking hit. Like, if the Beatles were still alive, they would be like, hell yeah.
I think it was like, it generated them performing this live song that already exists. But like, from like the fucking 70s or some shit.
Oh, did it like just...
Like the video, the performance is AI made. It didn't happen, but they probably used the audio and video footage fed into the AI in order to create a new, quote unquote, new performance. But they're not performing. It's just video and audio cuts that have been fed into an AI. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that is weird.
So they gave that the best performance, which is so dumb. Also, the band is so fucking old. They're not even playing anymore. Jog on. Do something else.
That's really sad.
Yeah.
Do you think that AI is going to affect tattooing in some form?
Yeah, of course.
And how?
References.
We're already there. So if you think about that, the realism game is fucking cooked now.
Yeah.
I don't see anybody doing realism
that isn't AI.
Like, and they're not even drawing their own shit. Like, I don't know. I mean, that drives me fucking bananas sometimes.
Realism tattooing has always been kind of like compiling references and using them. Like back in the day, it was, like printing out a picture or a photo and like hand drawing the stencil on top. And now, it's tracing over images that have been montaged and putting them on skin. Like, it's not untalented to do that with the techniques that they have, but I think we'll see I'm seeing more and more clients that like small fine line stuff, and I think that people, I don't know, they're always going to have the style that they're drawn to.
I think that fads in tattoo are changing more faster than they ever have. Like TikTok, I think last time I checked, it was like a fad will last like 2 weeks, and then people are already moving on to the next thing.
I think you and I also, we've been in the game so long, and like we tend to get people who like the same stuff that we like and like the same stuff that we post, which is awesome. Very cool. But we get less fad submissions.
I think we're luckier. I think we're luckier than most people. Well, not just lucky, but I think we put in a lot of fucking hard work. Dude.
That's 12 years.
So many. Okay. Not to like minimize the work that we have put in. I think we are, we find ourselves a little privileged, at where we are now.
Yeah, definitely.
Because of that hard work, right? So
yeah. Well, you work
I
hard
think that
to
we
get
are a little insulated from that. I'm making it my job this year to try to get all the other artists here to be a little bit more insulated from that too. And
yeah, I think it's just about like finding your people and finding your niche. Like the shops or your apprentice Sid, like I feel like I can see her catching her stride now and like building this cool like kind of mix between like traditional and like psychedelic
definitely
style.
psychedelic. Yeah.
And it's like that's
traditional
what I'm saying,
mushrooms and eyeballs and rainbows and shit.
Exactly. And like there's got to be like there's like a niche for everything. It's just a matter of getting people to see it. And like the great thing about tattooing is that like even if Instagram is kind of not as reliable, people always talk and people get excited to see your tattoos in person, you know? So like we'll always have the work will always speak for itself.
Yeah.
So we're lucky compared to like a digital artist who is relying fully on the internet in order to spread the word about their art, you know?
Yeah.
I feel for them more. Because AI will affect them 110%. Or like people who do album art, because it's so easy to get a clean looking digital artwork from AI that looks real. You know?
Yeah, but it's not even like, you can tell when something's AI though, even if it looks fucking flawless.
I've seen some though that, especially with like digital art, like they get pretty close where you can't tell the difference.
I think it has an easier time making things look like CGI and a more difficult time making things look like an actual painting.
Yeah.
Right? Like an organic something.
Yes, for the most part. But like whatever you feed into it, it's going to put out. So if you feed it all of these like original paintings that you made, or like, I don't know, an artist that you like their work of, if you feed all of that into it, that's what it will produce. It might look a little fucky, but it's probably going to be pretty spot on.
Oh man. I have so many theories about all of this, and AI, honestly, it fucking terrifies me.
It should.
I think it's a massive problem, and I think it's the antithesis of progression and creativeness, because what you're doing is you're making people rely on something that's not from your own mind, your own creativity, your own spirit, and you're just passing on that journey to something that's not alive.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You should be creating and all you're doing is consuming.
Yeah.
So like, I think there's a lot of people out there where we've lost our way because people have become so fixated on consuming items, which obviously, yes, consume art. But like when you're not creating, there's a part of our nature that gets lost, I think.
I agree.
And it doesn't even have to be art. It could be baking, cooking, like, I don't know. There's all sorts of creation, but I feel like if your main focus is to attain items to feel better, you're going to be hollow forever.
Song is old as time.
Oh yeah.
I think the phones make it worse though.
I agree with you.
And I'm not, and I got to practice what I preach, and I'm not always very, very good at it either. So
well,
I'm
way more
just
ads
as much as a victim too. Yeah, I agree. They call it the enshittification of things.
Were you the one that was telling me about how they were workshopping AI influencers for Facebook so that businesses could use them to cut product videos and marketing?
Meta is doing this thing.
Yes.
Where they're creating AI profiles.
Yes, like little Barbies or Kens.
No, kind of, I guess, if you want to put it that way.
People aren't real.
No.
They're AI.
But you don't know that.
Yes.
So you might have followers on Instagram that aren't actually real people. There's bots.
Yeah.
But they're created by Instagram.
Yeah.
And they're there to be creators. Like the idea is like, why should we pay creators all this money through monetization when we can just have our own AI do it ourselves?
Yeah.
And we cut out the middleman, you know? Why do we need to pay influencers for anything? AI will do it for us. Yeah. So that's what they're doing.
And that's what's dangerous about AI. I will also say that we're talking about this facet of AI. We're not even talking about like how the military or how like scientists or whatever would use AI.
I mean, that's a whole nother fucking.
That's a whole probably scarier.
Yeah, that's version. A whole nother haystack. My
this is more practical.
The issue I want to bring up is like how it's affecting tattooing and how it's going to affect a lot of these artists that are in the game and are all fighting to be seen and be heard. And you have to. I almost want to, like, I don't want to minimize the idea that the market is very saturated and it is competitive, but it's like any other business too. Everything's super competitive, right? I think we're coming from a time when tattooing was a lot more niche, and like we didn't have so many clients looking to get tattoos.
Well, I know it's something that you and I have discussed too, about basically you had this like really high incentive to get tattooed because people had the checks from like COVID and unemployment and stuff like that. So like during that period, we had like a 4-month backlog because we hadn't been in the shop for 4 months. And then there was just such an influx. Like there were so many people that we needed more artists just to keep all of the clients like able to get tattooed within 6 months.
Right.
And I think that's tapered out now with like the economy fluctuating, and like obviously people aren't getting those like larger checks of unemployment if they were able to get them at all. Because now it feels more like
it's back to normal.
Did when you and I started,
100%,
which we started during a recession.
Yeah.
So it feels better than that, because I remember when I was an apprentice, I would like come in on a Saturday and you guys are just sitting there and
twiddling our thumbs.
Yeah, just kind of like drawing, laughing, but like I don't remember you guys feeling stressed out about it. Like I remember Vicky just being like, yeah, it's winter. Like it's a slow season. It is what it is. Like that was normal. But we got so used to like the fast paced atmosphere, I think, for like the last couple of years, that now if it's a little slow, everybody like gets a little panicked,
I think that's multifaceted. I think there's a couple of reasons for that. I think we were new to the game and we were just happy to be there. Yeah. So I don't think my worldview changed until I went to my first convention and I saw what other people are doing and how busy they were and how like just on point they were with their work, their marketing, their branding, how they treat clients, their setup,
next level.
Everything was next level.
Yeah.
So and then I was like, I want that. I want to be like that. How do I do that? And then I think that kind of set us off. I'm like, okay, well, we gotta like be creative outside of tattooing and try to be seen boss, and be heard. And I think a lot of people, everybody like our age, that our generation of tattooers kind of saw the same thing, and they were like, yeah, we want to work hard and make something out of this.
Yeah,
I would like to buy a house. Maybe we can buy a house by tattooing.
Yeah,
tattoo our way into a house. That'd be fucking awesome. And we did. But now it's a lot harder for people, and I think we actually had it easier. I think because we were first. You know what I mean? If you were to ask me, if I wasn't a tattoo artist now, and you were to ask me, do you want to become a tattoo artist? I have this opportunity. I might actually hesitate.
I don't know if you would, because you wouldn't know the climate. You wouldn't be part of the...
If I knew what I know...
You can't have that. They can't have it both ways.
Oh, I'm just saying.
Okay, yeah, no, that makes sense. We're in a magical world.
I don't know. Yeah, this is
theoretical.
Thank you. So I think that...
I'd still do it.
Dude.
I have a bad trait of thinking that I'll be the outlier and I can do it.
But this is bothering me. Sorry. Your fucking long hair. So... what I'm saying is a lot of younger tattoo artists and people that get into this now are realizing like, holy shit, I have to work like triple the amount that like the last generation had to work, and just to be seen. And now they have to like get a second job because like they're just not making money. And like, how do you survive in a sea of people that are doing the same shit that you are? Yeah. How do you stand out from the crowd? It's certainly possible. I think that this is just becoming a business like any other business. I
think to that end, and if there's anyone who is actually listening to this thinking about being a tattoo artist, it's not a job. It's a lifestyle, and it becomes you. And you have to go into it being okay with that.
That's like, an opinion.
You don't leave it at the shop, though. You bring I think to have a level of success that you're talking about where you have a lot of clients, like you said, like it is work. But it kind of it ends up being a part of you. Again, this
is a highly debated subject, and that's an opinion.
Yeah, everything that you've said is also an opinion.
I know, but what I'm saying is like there's a lot of people that would disagree with that. Like, and I'm talking about like progressive people. Like a lot of people could say, because I agree with you. I think that like if you want to be really good at this job and you
at anything
and you want to like make a high be like, okay, sorry, I'm hemming and hawing here. if you want to perform at a high level in this business, you have to fucking bring your A game. You have to do the marketing for it. You have to have the personality for it. You have to be able to understand emotional intelligence and be able to be a good customer service rep for your own business.
Yes.
You have, and not only, this is on top of like drawing well, doing your homework.
I guess what I was trying to say is, if you were looking for a job where, similar to like an hourly job where you just come in and you tattoo and you leave, and that's all that you're willing to do, I think you're less likely to find success that other people will find if they're like really driven and they're going after all aspects, like you were saying.
Right. I totally agree with that.
I don't think that I think some people might get into it thinking like, oh yeah, you just come in, you tattoo, you leave, and you're good. And if you go into it thinking that's what it's going to be, it can be a little bit of a shock. I think
that's okay for some people though.
Yeah.
You know, and I think that some people don't want to do that. I don't think that. I think some people that's exactly what they want. They just want to be able to show up, tattoo, and leave.
But I think
and
as a new artist, that's difficult unless you're going to like if you set yourself up at a shop where there's walk-ins and like you're good, you're golden. That's it.
But also you have to have the opportunity to be at that shop.
Exactly.
And shops like that only have a certain amount of spaces.
Yeah.
So
I would say you almost need to kind of make it a lifestyle and make it like work very hard to attain that level. And I'm not against that. Like I think it like sometimes days I do just come in, tattoo, and go home, and I don't have as much to do.
But do you think that's because of like the way that is?
It's competitive.
But do you think that's because of the culture of tattoo artists in the previous generations making it that way? Or do you think that there's a better way where people don't have to work as hard and they can still do really cool tattoos and still get paid the same amount?
I think that for me, this job has been balance. So like I set boundaries, like I set times to do reels and marketing, and I try to stick with like a drawing schedule and keep my like the hours that I'm tattooing to a certain degree where it's not going to like make my hands or my back suffer. Mm-hmm. And I think that it's about balance and like what you're willing to do. But for many years, you and I just fucking hit the pedal.
Well, we had to,
and we went hard. And I think that is why you'll get greater investment, greater return across the board. That's just how it is, I think. So like if you're very good at like if you're an artist that's like really great in person with your clients, and you're also like going out giving business cards, and you're doing some networking and doing some conventions, you will see a greater return of clientele than you will if you just show up at unless the walk-ins are kicking, and then you're fine. It depends on what you want. You know what I mean? Like, do you want your own clientele, or do you want to fully be reliant on what the shop can bring you? And if you're in a city, like if you're in like Philly downtown area, then like that's it. You're good to go. So that's tricky too, because there are different cultures within the tattoo culture. You know, you got walk-in shops, you have custom shops, you have like large scale kind of fine art shops now, and it's so different.
What do you think will keep shops from not dying out? Because even popular shops don't. They're definitely slower than they used to be. I've spoken with a lot of different artists from different backgrounds and different cities, and they all kind of say the same thing, that it's definitely it's slower now. And they're not getting as much business. A lot of these bigger shops have fractured off in the past 5 years, and now all these artists that used to be like in one group in one shop in the city have now splintered off into these little private studios and stuff. So do you think that what you're saying is like gonna continue, or do you think that, how do I put this? Because we also have to think of like the well-being of the artists too.
Yeah,
like,
I would say like
not all of them are as industrious as we would be.
Yeah,
and I think we have a responsibility to say, hey, we are highly conscientious workaholics.
Yes.
That want more than what we're offered. Yes. And we're willing to put in the work to get it.
Yeah.
It's okay if you piggyback off of us a little bit.
I would also say, from that point of view, yes, I agree with you. And I think it's fine because we own the shop, and part of our job as shop owners and part of the privilege that we get being shop owners is providing for the artists. That's how I see it. Like I get so excited to get like Maddie and Sid, like I get so excited when they get people like filling their books and stuff. Like I don't know. I love the people that work here. I really want them to like be able to do tattoos in the style that they love and meet new people and new clients. I think as a younger artist, maybe I would have gone to a private studio if it was set up this way, but I'm really glad I didn't.
I don't think private studios are as rewarding, honestly. I think you miss out on a lot.
Even when I was in like that little, so like back in our old shop, we had a small private room, and that was my room for a while, and then Danny took it over. So if you've been tattooed by Danny, you know it. And I hated that room because I could hear all the jokes and the laughter and no one could hear me. So I would like make like a little side joke. No one could hear me. And you just felt alone. And I was like, this sucks.
Yeah. I understand that.
I'm more social than I think I am. But also there's something to be said for when someone has a really good client and they learn everybody at the shop and all their different styles. Like a lot of our clients get tattooed by both of us.
Yeah.
Or get tattooed by like some of the younger artists if they want small things. And that's fun. There's camaraderie there. And there's also like keeping clientele in the same spot where like if you had a private studio and you're only doing like black and gray fine line and your client wants a color tattoo, you're going to pass them to a different studio. So you're not making that money. And also like there's a chance that they might vibe with another tattoo artist more and maybe they'll want to get tattooed by them instead.
Yeah.
So I love having all the different options in one spot, and it's just fun. It's so much fun at work. Which is silly. I feel like I was so stressed out for so long about this job, and then I hit my stride somewhere and I still get really stressed out, but it feels better now. I'm
feeling very blessed and very lucky that we can do what we do and
absolutely
work at such a high level. And
it's insane.
It makes me proud that we can. I'm patting myself on the back here.
Good job,
I don't want to pat myself on the back too hard.
Then don't do it.
But I feel very lucky that we have the crew that we do. And
same.
The ability to kind of like steer our community outside of what I think is the general consensus on what tattooing is or what people think it is. And I want to operate outside of that discourse, and I want to be different. And I want to prove to people that if you build community within your place and disregard the competition or the fear of like somebody being too good and breaking off and starting their own thing, if you provide them with the tools they need to do whatever they need to do, and and each artist is going to want something different. Everybody operates differently. I just mean like pulling their weight as strong as they're able to, right? By instilling like values of hard work and getting something good out of that hard work, but not pushing yourself to where like I don't want to benefit off them in that way. You know what I mean? Yeah. You just want to see them grow. Well, I think that also like the respect that we have for our artist shows because we have a fantastic turnover rate of people that we've trained and people who stay here. Yeah. Which is not true with every shop that I've spoken to. But also we just try. And like before you and I make decisions, usually we talk about like, oh, well, how would it affect, like, how do you think this person would think about it? Or like, you know what I mean? So it's not like we're not thinking of how the artists feel before we make like a shop decision. Like even before we got this place, and I'm pretty sure you and I were on the same page where like we really wanted it. Before we had seen it, we asked the artists that we had, because we were on the fence about opening up a small shop because we were growing, or waiting. This was the harder choice, waiting, trying to coordinate it and doing a large shop and keeping all of the artists together and all of the artists asked to be together. Yeah. So this just worked out awesome. I think but that goes to show like that's a tight knit community for people to care and want to be together versus like I have talked to some artists where they're like, I had to be asked to place in a different side of the shop because I didn't want to be next to that fucking guy. Wow. So I'm like, Jesus. Okay. No, yeah, I'm glad we don't have that. Stressful. So yeah, I don't know. We got good vibes going. I think
we've talked about ourselves for a long time, but it's our podcast. We can do whatever we want.
I really just want to emphasize, like, and this goes out to other shop owners, like, you want to keep people in your shop.
Treat them like people.
Treat them well, you know?
Yeah.
And that's not to say that some of you don't. You just, I don't know, you have to foster community somehow. And
earlier,
it's not always about money.
Yes. Earlier you asked, I can't remember the exact phrasing, but you asked, like, oh, like, how would we run a shop where you're like, how would you insulate it so that it would remain or whatever? And I feel like part of that is making sure that when you're spending money, shop money, that it's going to benefit everybody in the shop, and like not just like being selfish about it. You know what I mean? Like we
had to make an adjustment, you know, we had to make a few adjustments, but
like the money
it's based on the market, you know,
money that we saved, like we put into a new shop, you know what I mean? It's not like we're going and buying mansions and shit, you know what I mean? And I'm sure that there are like, you know, there's probably shop owners out there that are just spending that money on their like personal dime, you know? I
don't really care for the like shop owners that don't tattoo at all. They're just in it for like, I'm just going to hire a bunch of tattoo artists and they're going to make me money.
Yeah.
Fuck that noise.
That's a business. And it's probably run like
part
a business,
of the problem.
You know? Yeah. Yeah.
No, I want to keep the small business. I would hate to see like a tattoo shop, and there are tattoo shops in Rhode Island that are trying to do that stupid shit that they are. I'm not naming names.
What stupid shit, Fred?
I'm not naming names.
What stupid shit is that?
They hire anybody off the street. They give them like maybe a month worth of like
training,
and then they just turn them loose on clients, and they're producing the shittiest tattoo work I have seen in my career. And they'll fill a fucking warehouse full of tattoo artists, and they're like, oh, walk-in Wednesday, let's go. And then like that's what I'm saying. Like, these people are visitors in this business. They're not actually in it for to give back to the community and any the art community or the tattoo community.
Yeah, they're treating it like a business.
Yeah, they're just treating it like a business. And I think that honestly the major problem with tattooing right now is these people are trying to act like capitalists and not the working class. We're the fucking working class. That's what we are. We are not capitalists. You know? We're just people that are working our hands to the bone to try to pay our bills.
I mean, within any industry, when it gets too big, there's always going to be someone that wants to step in and monetize.
That's exactly what they're doing too.
They're
monetizing the fucking the spirit out of this shit,
pricing and all that. Yeah.
And I think that tattooing it's not something that you can just monetize your way into a fucking McMansion. It doesn't work like that. This is it's a spiritual, ritualistic process that I think is, if you value dollar signs over the individual client, then you're missing the fucking point.
Yeah.
And you're not actually.
It's disrespectful to the craft, I think.
I think that we are in the people business. Tattooing is not about art. It's about people, and it's about those interactions and those relationships that you build with people. Money at the end of it is just the kindness that people give to you at the end to say thank you.
Yeah.
I mean, dude, like, we're still undercharging. I've looked at like how much people are charging even in the state of Rhode Island.
Really?
And yeah, dude, we have like,
how much are they charging, Fred?
A 2-year an artist that has been doing this for maybe a year to 2 years, they're already charging $200 an hour. That's the going rate now.
Yeah,
like inflation, and like $200 is not like.
It's not what
remember when we first started, we were charging $100 an hour. You know.
Yeah, I was charging less than that probably when I first started.
Like that shit does not go far.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, not when like groceries are probably for two people might be like $200 a week, maybe.
Inflation is real, and I think we need to keep up with it. And that goes to my point that we're not capitalists, we're working class, and we are constantly working against the value of a dollar.
Yeah.
That keeps dwindling.
Yeah.
And the fact that we have to eat and pay rent. All those prices are going up, but our prices aren't. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you have like a tattoo artist. Like we've been doing this 15 years, Michelle.
Yeah.
When's the last time you gave yourself a raise?
Maybe 2 years ago.
Okay.
Maybe 2 to 3 years ago. You know how I feel about this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, why was it so hard to give yourself a raise? When people want a raise every year. Like some people are guaranteed a raise every year. You've been doing this for how long?
That's a great question, Fred. 13 years.
Okay, and how many raises have you given yourself throughout the years?
I think 4.
4 raises.
But the raises are decent though, because like when other people get raises, it's like an increment of like a quarter or a couple of dollars.
But
like
we're jumping up. That means that you were inconsistent with your raises and you didn't keep up with inflation. So you were undercharging and paying more for groceries during a certain period of time without taking care of yourself. That's what I'm saying.
I think
then you felt so guilty about it for so long that you just put off giving yourself a raise for that long, Fred. Because you don't want to, and I get it. I also don't want to alienate my clients.
The other reason I was going to say is, and I said before, I feel very privileged to own the shop. We have privileges here where, we're able to like make a decent percentage off of the amount that we're tattooing, like the price point. Yeah. So I feel okay charging $200 an hour, which is the going rate, because I might be making more of that money in the long run. Compared to, artists that might be getting like a percentage of their cut taken for all of like the shop amenities.
You're putting more work in though.
Yep, that's true. So true.
How many hours a week do you work?
I don't know. I actually don't know.
It's a lot.
It's a lot.
It's a Monday and we're at the shop.
We're here. You're not wrong.
I'm not trying to shit on you. I'm just trying to make a point.
Let's talk about it. Let's fucking talk about it. Fine, we'll talk about it. My style is very detailed. I get a lot of people that want detailed pieces, and I think I feel uncomfortable. That shit takes a long time to do. If you want raspberries, if you want 5 raspberries and you want them full color and you want them all shiny and they're beautiful and they have all these little lines, it takes so long. So I think that I get in my own way when I should just say like, hey, I know that you love my style. This takes a long time to do. And I do during the consult, but I get in my own head thinking that I'm a slow tattooer when in reality, I'm just a very detailed tattooer, and I'm going to simplify.
But it's your work. You have to.
I tried to simplify my style this past week to get it done quicker. And my client said, no, please don't do that. I want as much detail as possible.
There you go.
I know.
People come to you for that shit.
I know.
You have awesome style.
I know.
And it's also not fair to your clients if you're assuming what they can and cannot afford.
That's true too, because that is almost like something that
it's like saying someone. Like I don't think you could afford me, so I'm going to dumb it down for you. So
it's also because I grew up so broke. Like we were going to the consignment store for clothes, and I still go to the consignment store for clothes. I'm not like a person that spends a lot of money, but on the flip side of that coin, I'd spend thousands of dollars on a tattoo to make sure it was done right. So I get it, but it's hard for me to take myself out of that mindset of like, because I grew up where my mom was always like, we don't have any money for that, so that's how I treat everything. And I have that guilt of like, a lot of money.
Don't worry about it, man.
I know, right? But then I think about paintings, and I know someone who's sold, I'm not gonna say who it is, she's an acquaintance, if that. She sold a piece of shit painting. It was just terrible. And I think like, I don't know, someone paid like $1,200 for it, and I was like, I don't get it. Ugh. And it's not even permanent.
Oh no.
If there's a fire, then it's gonna go down. I guess if there was a fire, we could go down too. So obviously you can probably hear me pinballing back and forth on the pricing thing.
Yeah.
But you and I are also doing large scale pieces. So I think it's a little more daunting when you're doing that kind of work because it is more expensive.
Yeah.
Because when I did like a little calcifer tattoo on Jesse, and I was like, oh, it's so fucking fast. It looks so good.
It looked great.
Yeah,
you did a great job on that piece.
But it took me like a little over an hour, and I was like, oh, I'm not slow. I'm just Michelle.
You need to give yourself more credit, honestly.
Thanks, dog.
Yeah. And raise your prices a little bit. It's okay.
I know. Yeah.
Nobody's going to be mad.
I know.
If you raise your prices and like do that hemming and hawing thing where you're like, well, I take a long time and I just want to make sure, and you do you try to justify like the reason why you're charging more because you feel bad.
Yeah.
I guarantee you it doesn't matter what you say. The client still be like, oh my God, yeah, you definitely deserve more money.
I've had some of my clients tell me to charge more money.
Yeah.
And then I did. And then I have my massage therapist who, so she had been discounting my rate. And I was telling her about how I was like, oh, I just feel uncomfortable charging my full rate when it's like a half day. And she was like, you know what I'm going to do? And I was like, what are you going to do? And she's like, I'm going to charge you my full rate and you're going to charge them your full rate. And I was like, all right, Raven. She's
damn
great.
Right, dude. That's awesome.
I love her.
Yeah.
She's like a life coach too. She's my girl. She told me to get a Roth IRA when I was 26.
Hell yeah.
Fuck yeah.
That's great. That's great advice.
You love her. She's
Everybody
awesome.
should have a Roth IRA.
Everybody get a Roth IRA quickly.
What the? Did you fart?
No, it's the squeaky chair. And I have to go get the WD-40, but it's all the way over there. Yeah. Do you ever feel like you talk so fast and you hope that people from other parts of the country can hear what you're saying?
Yeah, you're just like speaking Simlish, like in rapid fire.
Yeah, I talk really fast sometimes when I do talk. I feel like I'm either like pretty quiet or I'm talking very quickly.
It's all that coffee, man.
Yeah, I didn't do my second coffee for fear that I would explode.
No, I like drinking coffee on the podcast because it makes me like, woo, let's fucking go, son.
I know.
We are a little bit over an hour, so we should probably wrap this up, right? It goes fast.
That's basically a rom-com.
I know.
When we used to do, real quick, small story. When we used to do road trips, my job would be to keep Fred awake, which would mean I'd be doing a lot of talking. But when we would be getting close to home, if it was like 2.5 hours, I'd be like, oh, that's like a Lord of the Rings movie right there. And then if it was a 2-hour movie, I'd be like, that's like Dark Knight, Batman movie. And then once we get to an hour and a half, it's a rom-com. I just think of like timing in like relation to movies. Yeah.
Like a 90-minute movie.
Yes.
That's like a Disney
an hour
movie.
and 37 usually.
Jesus.
I don't know. Yeah. I'm fine. But yeah, this was fun. We're going to be coming in bi-weekly.
Yep.
To do podcasts.
I have goals, man. I want everybody to listening in to this podcast to understand that we're here to just talk about the shop and the ongoings in like how we find ourselves in the tattoo industry and our thoughts on that. And I'm hoping to bring in a lot of different guests too. I'm really excited about that. Like I want to interview.
That'll be cool.
All the like tattoo artists here. Like a lot of them are on board, which I'm really, really excited about because that's one thing I've always wanted to do. Yeah. Is like I want to highlight the people that
we love so much
and make the shop amazing.
It already is.
So
people just not everybody knows about it. That's all.
And I think this will help kind of put us on the map a little bit and I want to invite people into the shop, even if they don't have a tattoo and they're maybe thinking about it. And like, this is who we are, So I want to thank everybody for tuning in. For those of you who have been wondering and begging for me to start the podcast back up. Oh yeah. I have people, please do the podcast. I fucking
involved on their knees.
On their knee. They'll come in and they'll like tears? Crying.
Wow.
They're like, I need to know what you're thinking about stuff right now. Yeah. And I'm like, all right, man.
They're like, AI is stealing my
seriously like
wakeful moments.
This is true. This is HI right here, bitch. Human intelligence.
Hi-fi.
Real organic human fucking processes.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
You're doing great.
Shit's going down. Like, and they were coming in and they were like, Fred, I haven't been able to drive to work. No. Because there's no podcast.
They were at home.
They're like, I have an hour commute and I just can't make it. Please.
Yeah, unable to drive.
Please guide my journey and bless me so I can get to work. Yeah.
My Northern Star.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So anyway, I'm really excited for what the podcast is going to be.
Wild.
I know.
Okay. The character that is Fred Chino.
I am so excited to be here. I feel like we've come full circle.
I actually agree with you on that. So yeah.
Oh, do you have more to say about that? Or?
No, I do agree that we've come full circle. I don't know. This past year has been weird. I don't know if it's because I'm in my mid-30s or something, but I just feel more at peace. Bro. Somewhat in my mind. Sorry.
Dude, I don't give a fuck anymore.
You don't give a fuck about me?
No, I give a fuck about you.
Oh, okay.
But I don't give a fuck about shit though, in general. Like I'm just like, man, fuck.
I think that you pinball between giving too many fucks about certain things And then not enough fucks about everything.
Nah, man.
Oh, okay.
I care about not trying to give a fuck about shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's
like, I'm be like, I don't give a fuck. Sorry.
All right.
I don't give a fuck. I'm just, there's no, I'm almost 40 and I'm just like, why? You know?
So true. so true.
I just want to be me, man. I just want to have fun and I want to help people and I want to resist against this fascist bullshit that's going on in our country.
True.
And I want to let people know. I want to know that they know. I know that you know.
You know he's talking. Yeah,
I'm just saying. I'm hyped up on coffee right now.
I wonder if this is gonna make the cut.
It will.
It's gonna get edited out. All right, cool.
I want to let people know.
Jesus Christ.
That I'm with you. I'm serious. I'm being silly, but I'm serious.
Difficult to read.
If things feel bleak right now and you're not sure what the fuck is going to happen and you're just trying to muster up a reason to go to work and continue to pay your bills, I'm just telling you, at a local level, there are people in your community that genuinely care about how things are going. And I'm here. We're here to help you guys in the local community in Warren, Rhode Island.
That's true.
Reach out.
There are a lot of programs in Warren.
This town is awesome.
Yeah.
This town is great. It's
Tiny
been good to us.
So small.
So in saying that, February 28th, we're doing a national blackout on all corporate spending.
Fuck yeah.
So if you are anti-fascists and don't want to continue to give these motherfuckers any money, then don't. We're all not doing it on February 28th. Yeah. We're boycotting Target and all those other anti-DEI motherfuckers. So I'm just saying, don't buy fuel. If you got to buy anything, give it to small business and people that are on the side of people, working class people. So
yeah, local restaurants, local owners.
Yeah, absolutely.
100%.
Support your local immigrants, motherfuckers.
True.
You know what I'm saying? I love you.
I love you too?
Hell yeah. I love all you guys. You guys are my little fucking babies. You know what I'm saying, man?
You are getting so weird as you get older.
You really think so?
Yeah.
Dude, I really been feeling like
strange?
No,
like you're a different guy?
No, I'm just like, I'm more myself. Like I'm really myself nowadays. Because I don't have like all this like anxiety like over my head, like being like, don't be yourself, man.
Oh,
people are not gonna like it. And now I catch myself, even with my family, I'm like, I'm the weird one. Like, fuck, I am the weird one.
Yeah, I am too. It's okay.
Like I'm the hippy dippy. Like I'm kind of on the edge of like not being okay.
That is wild to me because you do not seem hippy dippy compared to me. So I like that for you. That's fantastic. I'm glad to hear it.
An onion cake, just lots of layers.
Disgusting. Fred tried to strong arm me into buying chocolate cake today, so
it's true.
All right, that's just letting people know.
I almost bought it to surprise you on the podcast.
I don't even like chocolate cake.
I just wanted you to be cake.
You just wanted the joke, and the cashier was like, "Sorry, I don't know what to do right now."
I know,
and I was like, "Ignore him. It's fine. I don't want cake.
I just want to be weird.
I just wanted an iced tea."
It worked. No, eat that cake.
It. She'll remember us. She loved it. She was confused.
I know. What's her name? She knows our name. You know that,
she
right?
She only knows it because I type my name out in the order when I go and pick it up.
I don't know her name, and it makes me fucking uncomfortable.
Let's go figure her name out this week because we should. But usually I actually checked my receipt the other day because I was like, oh, maybe the server will be on the receipt.
Server.
Well, quote unquote server, but it's like a barista, right? But there was no option for the name.
Yeah.
So I did try in my own small way.
Yeah, man.
All right, dog.
Dope. All right, bro. This is what's up. Inkaholics podcast back in the fucking heezy. We're here for all your tattoo needs. If you need a tattoo, you fucking call one of us. We have 9 artists all going at it, going hard in the paint. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
We got, and they're reasonably priced. So they...
Honestly, they can just.
We're doing the best.
Anyway.
We're doing the greatest tattoos. You've never seen tattoos like this before in your life.
Shit.
And I fucking love you guys. I will see you next week. Bye.
Bye. I was worried that we talked in circles after the fact.